A boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe.
A big toe.
He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away.
It's a Silent Hill sound.
The toe into the kitchen.
That's the sound of someone in Silent Hill, I swear to God.
Groan, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper.
That sound is like the sound of someone dying in Silent Hill.
Away. The boy took the toe into
Pretty sure, like 99% sure.
It looks nice and plump, she said. I'll put it in the soup. And
it's a thumb. You can clearly see the nail. Come on.
That night, his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they each had a piece. Then they did the dishes.
Just a thumb, man.
Dark, they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice, and it was calling to him. Where is my
I gotta change Jeff's face.
It groaned. When the boy heard that, he got very scared, but he thought, it doesn't know where I am. It will never find me. Then he heard the voice once more.
Kid looks like a oral character.
Where is my toe? It groaned. The boy pulled the blankets over his head and closed his eyes. I'll go to sleep, he thought. When I wake up, it will be gone. But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the voice. Where is my toe? It groaned. Then
where are the police?
The boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen, into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. Then slowly they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside his door. Where is my toe? The voice groaned. His door opened. Shaking with fear, he listened as the footsteps slowly moved through the dark toward his bed. Then they stopped. Where is my toe? The voice groaned. You've got it!
The fuck is that guy? What do you think? Was that true or fake? Was it real or fake? The answer may surprise you. Real or fake? Yeah, that's right. It was real. It's actually based on a true story. Completely based on a true story.
Me Tai Doty Walker. There was a haunted house where every night a bloody head fell down the chimney.
I can't just live without the toe. No, seriously.
Said, so nobody would stay there overnight. Then a rich man offered $200 to whoever would do it. And this boy said he would try if he could have his dog with him. So it was all settled. The very next night, the boy went to the house with his dog. To make it more cheerful, he started a fire in the fireplace. Then he sat in front of the fire and waited, and his dog waited with him. For a while, nothing happened. But a little after midnight, he heard someone singing softly and sadly off in the woods. The singing sounded something like this. Me Tai Doty Walker. It's just somebody singing, the boy told himself, but he was frightened. Then his dog answered the song. Softly and sadly it sang. Linchi, kinchi, kali, mali, dingo, dingo. The boy could not believe his ears. His dog had never uttered a word before. Then a few minutes later, he heard the singing again. Now it was closer and louder, but the words were the same. Walker.
You think this one's the
Now
worst? I think this one's
picked up
just
his
fucking
dog,
weird.
answering. He was afraid that whoever was singing would hear it and come after them. But his dog paid no attention, and again it sang, Linchi, kinchi, kali, mali, dingo, dingo. A half hour later, the boy heard the singing again. Now it was in the backyard, and the song was the same. Me tai Dory Walker. Again, the boy tried to keep his dog quiet.
Like, what does it mean?
But the dog sang
Why?
louder than ever. Linchi, kinchi, kali.
Oh yeah, strobe light, seizure warning.
Dingo. Soon the
Coming
boy
up.
heard the singing again.
Warning.
Now it was coming down the chimney. Me tai Dory Walker. The dog sang right back. Lynchy, Kinchy, Kali, Molly, Dingo, Dingo. Suddenly, a bloody head fell out of the chimney. It missed the fire and landed right next to the dog. The dog took one look and fell over, dead from fright. The head turned and stared at the boy. Slowly, it opened its mouth.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with the dog. Why'd the dog do that? Why'd they do that? Why the fuck did they do that to them? I don't get it, man. Fucked him over. Really just fucked him over, dude. Yeah, you know, we've seen a lot of these a few times over now. Just a few times. Let's watch a Urbex in the school.
This is where the string goes.
Where does the string go?
Somebody's down there. I don't know which way I should go. Maybe I'll head down this one first. This place is huge. Yo, there are bullet cases. It's really creepy.
Bullet
Hello?
cases. Help.
It's so quiet down here. Bullet holes all in this glass.
This guy's videos have gotten so unhinged.
Hallway.
Is that what the music is?
Out here. This school is huge. I'm gonna set a bunch of infrared cameras all over the building.
It's funny.
What the hell?
It's all the. I feel like he did this kind of almost now, or someone made all of these the same paint. That's just paint. That's not even blood. I feel like. His
Somebody's in there.
videos have just become like complete productions now.
Are you tired of going to Netflix just to find out your favorite shows are now region restricted? Well, you need a VPN.
Dude, I respect the hustle.
Can help. Not only does it keep your activity safe and secure from hackers,
But
it also
not today. I've never actually seen him before though, too. He's
There's a
big
lot
man.
of movement down there. You hear that? Sounds like somebody's down there.
Is that the school logo? Why would they put that on like a fucking vent in like a basement? Yeah, Surfshark I still have too. It was a while ago. That paint. It was just a snake. Oh no, that was a snake.
Here's the auditorium.
Why are those stairs just different color or chairs different colors? Stairs and chairs. Yeah, looks like an old ass school auditorium.
Damn it.
Yeah, they were special chairs or something. Go first. I went to like elementary school in a school like this, like really, really old. Then everything after that was like way more
This school is huge.
like
I'm gonna set a bunch of
modern.
infrared cameras all over the building. It's like this weird string.
All right, this is ridiculous.
Looks like a booby trap.
This is a Half-Life booby trap.
Goes all the way up. That's weird.
Just cut it. Real string.
And it goes this way. Stops right there. Goes all the way back. I'll check it out later.
Is that a mushroom on that? Definitely pretty fucked up. It looks like every other place he's ever been to in this entire fucking channel. Same fucked up school. Everything he does is in Ohio, by the way. So if you're in like Cleveland, Ohio, ish area, this is probably near you. This channel's called Urbex. I think it's just Urbex Hill. The Rat Man. Yeah, I mean, could be used for something. Seems like maybe all the stuff inside made it condemned. Like the building materials or something like that. Who knows? Could be like unfit for human habitation. Also, yeah, pretty common setting for like a level on a game, I feel like. All right, well.
Yeah, somebody's here. Someone's gotta be here. Probably homeless people.
Time to roll up. Yeah, I think most people chilling are not looking to like get into any problems with people. Yeah, this is Unreal 5. Is the paint peeling? Fuck.
Oh, look, it's a fallout shelter. This fallout shelter is massive.
How is it a fallout shelter? It
You
just
can't
looks
see all
like
the way down there, but it is huge.
this looks like pipes underneath the school. What a fallout shelter is?
I might come back and check it out. Oh, look, there's another one on this side, too. Not nearly as big, though.
That barrel. Like an old wooden barrel. It's crazy. I mean, it's just what a lot of those games are based on, I guess. It's like scary places. Paint peeling off the wall like that is just like super Silent Hill movie. Just lead paint, probably, yeah. Yeah, I think that's why they probably abandon these places. There's just no money to do anything about it. What's that? Like a music.
Look at this creepy picture.
Yeah, look at that mountain between two
I
hills.
don't know why it looks so creepy. And that's ignorant.
Can't be doing that. I'm surprised it's not like a more
Super old telephone. Look at this. Vintage.
common thing in like Urbex shit.
It's almost 3 in the morning. It's a creepy looking hallway.
I guess if he came in any other time, I don't know, it wouldn't be as scary. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's just manipulating it.
hell was that?
I bet you the views too are way better if you go at night and film. Oh, who knows? Since when have we seen a video on this channel with manipulated footage?
Whoa, look at this.
I mean, his channel started out pretty legit,
That's creepy.
but over time, I think just the views were so much better when he did
Really
stuff.
creepy. Now I gotta find out what's inside.
Encourage it, kind of, you know? I mean, I'm watching it. I guess it worked.
When do I put do not enter?
Do not enter.
I hope they didn't put that up there because the floor, you can fall through the floor or something.
Yeah, that's why they put that there. That's why they made it red spray paint with bleeding trails coming off of it.
The floor right here. Looks like it goes in.
That's very indicative of that.
Or maybe not.
How do the walls have barnacles? Oh, gross, dude. This place is fucked.
Somebody's fist.
These lockers are so fucking gnarly.
Just look how creepy these lockers look. Some out of Silent Hill.
The whole fucking school was.
There's another door over there.
Silent Hill. Yeah, this definitely looks like one of the rooms, like from Are You Afraid of the Dark, that was like sealed away. They're like, we found a pool in the back of the school. And then they opened it up and it was haunted.
Shit, this door opens. I wonder where this goes.
That looks like an exit door.
Is this like outside? It's locked.
Or like it's just stuck.
This way. It's weird. Has to be boarded up though from the outside.
It's probably just like a fucking bunch of shit out there. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, Kevin. Look for that tier 1, dude. I don't know why the sounds aren't going off. Did you guys hear Harold make a sound? Yeah, I just didn't hear it. All right, I think I just had my audio fucked up. It's okay.
It's just a bathroom.
Harold's down here, man. It's a plant table, that metal table.
It's a gym area.
It's for like putting pots on. Material on that is a pain in the ass. I hate those tables.
God.
Your greenhouse table.
They set a fire right here. It's probably not
One
even,
red ball.
you know, vandalism.
Safe? You don't
kids
walk on
or
that.
it's probably homeless people trying to stay warm during the winter. So they just burn the wood of the floor, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, this place is even too shitty for like homeless people to try to live in, though. I think that's why it's so bad.
This area has a really weird smell.
Yeah, like people probably get sick from this shit.
It smells like laundry detergent almost. That is weird.
Also, when you go to places like this and you're homeless, you kind of like put yourself at risk too. That's why like people band together, kind of. It seems like because they're safer in bigger groups. Imagine trying to like be by yourself in a building like this. Just like I don't know. I just feel like you would get fucking murdered eventually, and no one would fucking find you. You're in the middle of a fucking abandoned building. Well, yeah. I'm just saying. I don't think that there'd be many. There definitely were people trying to chill here, but they all got like kicked out or like chased out. That's what I mean, though. Like, if you're by yourself in a place like this and a group of people show up, that is not a good situation to be in. And that's why we're in a time now where people don't like stay in these buildings because people get hurt or I don't know, fucking doing drugs and something happens to them. They like to be out around other people. If you OD in a building like this, no one's ever going to find you. Wow, every time he steps on glass.
It's a lot of weird noises in this school.
Unity.
These are all the pictures.
Yeah, it's definitely
kids.
fucked
Whatever
thing.
grade this is, Drew. Wonder what grade this was. Oh, right there. 4th and 5th.
Work hard. I remember making some like dumb picture for a thing like this. They would have probably made my square like one of those solid colors.
You hear that? Sounds like somebody stomping upstairs. Maybe that's just the water dripping.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of places with like heavy industry had schools and buildings that like ended up like this too. Like, cause you know, so many people left after the industry changed. Ended up with these giant empty schools like this. It becomes so dilapidated that it's easier and more cost efficient to just build a new school as opposed to like even trying to fix it. As fucked up as that is.
All the way up this hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Not only was it probably not cheaper to tear it down, just how much disgusting shit is in here. It's probably just dangerous. Demolish anything around the school, you know? It's almost like a containment sarcophagus. Start demolishing shit like this, and all of a sudden people's fucking groundwater gets contaminated because it wasn't like demolished properly. Which I think is another huge problem. People are like, yeah, let's just get rid of the thing. And like they get rid of it. Then they realize that they didn't really do it the right way.
All the way down there.
30 years later. You know what I mean?
I'm checking here real quick.
That's why if you're going into school, look at environmental hazard
Shit.
cleaning and stuff like that. It's a burgeoning industry now. It's going to become even bigger and bigger over the next like 30 years.
Oh, this is sketchy though. Look at this. It just seems like.
I know a few people who went into that field in school. They like so much work. Yo, Furry. Make memes. The Prime Gaming. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that very
It just
much.
keeps going up to the next floor.
I doubt he's actually really alone. I feel like he has friends. He set this all
That
up.
chair was falling.
There's no way he didn't set this whole dumb thing up. This string thing. This is ridiculous.
You know what though? It looks like that chair is being held on by the string.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm freaking out. God, that scared the hell out of me. Oh my God.
That's what I mean about the obsestus and the lead and stuff like that, though. You just start knocking these buildings down. It creates like such a fucking
If you were to pull the string, I think the chair would fall.
ecological disaster on its own.
Fucking heart's racing.
Yeah, this is totally intact and clean string. Also, he's had chairs fall in a lot of his videos.
The string just keeps going all
A
the way
chair will just fall
down that way.
randomly from like the ceiling.
Somebody rigged this up. I think this string wraps around the entire school. I mean, it's been nonstop. Before I leave here, I'm gonna find the end of it. 'Cause that's weird.
Cool game idea. Just follow a string through a dilapidated building. Be a commentary on walking sims. Elevator shaft? Oh, that is death. It's a really common way that people die in abandoned buildings is falling in elevator shafts. I think it's the most common, actually. What is that?
It smells funny in here.
People just get too close to the elevator like that and like fucking, I don't know.
Go up these steps.
Just imagine how easy it is to slip at the most inopportune time. It's like does happen. Interesting.
Some of this stuff is saying it's dated back to the 60s. I don't know if the camera can see that. I guess some of this stuff's really old.
Someone put the time of day and the
2001,
temperature it was when they were there. What the fuck?
1950.
I think I'm too old to go urban exploring.
1965, March 5th, 1965.
I think if you get caught doing this shit as a teenager or something like that,
That's
one thing.
assuming people didn't lie.
You get caught doing this as like a 30-year-old, you can get in a whole different kind of trouble. That's said Rick and Morty. Yeah, I just feel like law enforcement would grill you in a different way. If you're like an older person wandering around in buildings as opposed to a teenager. I don't know.
Another one.
If you got caught, I mean. Yeah, it's usually illegal. Past a certain age, you're only allowed to urban explore old folks' homes. I just think Urbex is like a, I don't know. Yeah, I could blend in with the homeless crowd. Exactly. Got that going for us at least. A little door. That's true too. I don't know. I feel like if I find some dude wandering around in some abandoned place, my first thought isn't like, oh, he's here taping it. I don't know. I'd be like, what's this guy fucking doing here?
Look at this floor. A pile of ice on it.
Yeah, but if you know
Must be a
they
hole.
aren't, if they like, you know,
That's how cold it is, man. It's freezing.
now just get a little sketched out. Because I feel like there's a whole other side to going to places like this.
It's in every room. It's in this one too. That's crazy. How's it in every room on this end
And
of the
see
building?
some things you don't want to see.
Just piles of ice.
Be in the wrong place at the right,
Floor zone.
wrong time.
Walk in there.
Yeah, you can see his breath like every time he breathes.
Feels like there's a heater on back here. It's very warm.
Well, I guess not.
How is it this warm back here?
Is it just underground, maybe? Nope, definitely not. It would be cool if there's just a creepy guy who's just like, hello. And all that he had was like a space heater.
It sounds weird back here too.
Say it sounds weird.
I mean, it's noticeably warmer back here. Oh shit, what was that? What the hell was that noise?
Cool tag.
And my camera's starting to fog up. What the fuck? Hello?
There was a sound that just like stopped. There was like a humming.
That's sketchy. It's weird on this side of the building.
I mean, couldn't there be steam pipes in some of these buildings still activated? A lot of the times, I feel like. Isn't that a thing?
This is weird. It's so warm you could literally see the droplets. But the camera's so foggy, I don't think you can.
I mean, that's got to be some kind of fuck up, some kind of malfunction. Hell. Like, I feel like a lot of schools and giant buildings have like big giant steam traps underneath the building. A lot of like from this time period especially, and that's like how they heated these places sometimes. It was like baseboard steam heat and stuff. In the pipes.
All right, let's go.
I don't know. You never found out what was at the end of the string?
Not that I would have.
Yeah, but I think if you cut
In there anyways. Look at the decorations in there though.
if you cut it off sometimes in some of these buildings, I think it destroys the pipes and
Very
stuff.
nice at one point.
Makes an even bigger mess. I don't know. I think that's why some of these abandoned hospitals and shit like that still have electricity. It seems like kind of a common thing in a lot of these Urbex places. I don't know. They like leave the power and stuff on. I don't know. There's so much sand in here. It definitely does seem like it got like flooded. The string. Opportune timing.
Holy shit.
Right on time.
Somebody's down there.
What is that string? It's another one of those tables. Oh, there's a few of them. No, those actually look like vents. I guess it could be made out of the same shit. I mean, it says do not enter. Can you come from the other way?
What the hell was that noise?
He already went in there.
Wait a minute. This wasn't like this before. Oh crap. Hello?
We'll end the first half of this exploration on this convenient cliffhanger, but stay tuned for part 2 that's coming up next. Some of the most frightening parts of this exploration are yet to be seen. Consider subscribing so you won't miss it.
Damn. We'll never know. The Urbex fam. Was that Zelda music? What the fuck? It's funny. Hey, I mean, everyone uses Zelda music, right? I feel like that's like one, I don't know, usually it's Zelda 64 or something though. It's funny. All right. Let's check out a little guide to defending yourself. F1.
I like to kick. It's fun. It's just boop from here. Boop, beep, 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 beep. Stop that. He's gonna back up.
Step 2. Throw things.
Here we've got a screwdriver. Let's see how it throws. Pretty good.
Know how to defend against meat pants.
Filled with meat.
You guys know this guy. Damn.
Now, I was standing like this and talking to the guy, and suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, boom, bang, 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 boom, bang, bang, bang. I'm sorry. Bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not. Don't you ever do this.
Dong, dong, dong. That's pretty good. I want to find that first guy. That's right. How about what do we have here? What do we get here? I think we've all seen this one at least once, but let's check it out. Grill skill.
Hi, I'm Wendy's founder, Dave Thomas.
There he is.
From the day I opened the first Wendy's, my goal has been to serve the best hamburger in the business, a Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger. So I started with the freshest beef I could find, 100% pure beef,
Goodness.
never frozen. And we patted it into squares so the hamburger hangs over the side of the bun. Then we cooked the
VHS quality?
patty slowly to
Dave
seal it
Thomas
in
is
its
haunting this
natural
VHS
juices
tape.
and served it hot off the grill with the customer's choice of toppings. No other hamburger chain can make those claims. That's what sets us apart from our competition, and that's why our customers come to Wendy's. I believe the only way to make a Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger is to press the meat patty. Pressing the meat patty is really important, and here's why. The patty tastes
Yeah, I
better
like
because
Wendy's.
the salt is pressed into the meat and
Compared
makes
to the
meat
others.
more tender. It also makes the patty larger, so they'll hang over the edge of the bun, and people will like that. Pressing the hamburger patty requires skill and dedication. You have to watch over the patty.
I swear McDonald's lettuce
as they
tastes
cook.
like...
You should always serve a perfect Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger.
I don't know.
The
It doesn't
one that
taste
you
right.
would serve to your best friend.
Wendy's, at least like the
You have one
materials
of the most
taste
important
kind of
jobs at
fresh.
Wendy's. Right now, I want you to devote your full attention to learning the new four-corner press procedures
Old-fashioned.
for cooking Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers. And while
Fashioned.
you're doing that, I am going to have a hot and juicy hamburger with mustard, pickle, and onion.
You just eat the hamburger. Just eat the bacon. Yeah, they do have wet burgers. You're not wrong. I like a wet burger. Didn't know McDonald's had lettuce. Yeah, it probably isn't really
Hey, Greg,
lettuce.
what's up? Not much. Mary's up front. She wants to see you. All right.
Getting fired.
Hi, Bill.
Hey.
Time cards are so old.
Make sure you start in 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, Mary, what's up?
I'm going to pull you off fries today because I want you to
I don't
learn
think
grill.
I ever
Have you
even
logged
used a
in?
time
Yeah.
card in
Let's get started.
ever. They must have gotten rid of them by like the end of the 90s.
You're familiar with the grill, but let me show you a few things you might not already know. The meat is here in the cold well, and the cheese is over here. Bun warmer up above keeps the buns warm and fresh. Remember, we serve 100% pure ground beef. It's patted in
Yeah, I just mean for
squares
the
so that meat
convenience.
hangs over the bun. Now the tape I'm
And
going to
taste.
show.
Wendy's usually
Here's a
pretty
crew
decent.
guide and the grill training tape. Why don't you have a look at the tape first, and I'll check back with you in a few minutes.
All right.
You had ink punch cards? It's crazy. I've had plenty of shitty Wendy's meals too, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, I've definitely seen this one before. Yes.
Now working the grill, Bill, it ain't so tough. But first of all, you got to check your stuff. Like a grill that's set at 250 with the meat and cheese that's ready to go. A towel to keep your station looking cool. But most of all, you got to have your tool. Are you with me now? Get ready.
Oh.
We're gonna lay them down. Now, beats got grain to it just like wood. You got to follow the arrow to lay it down like you should. From the front to the back, you got to lay it down. Space it evenly.
They're like
not
slices of
scattered
ham.
around. Next, you got to salt the meat from the back to the front to make the taste complete. Not too little, not too much. With a little finesse, you'll get the touch.
This is a real training video.
What's coming up next is our key to success. We'll turn the meat and do a 400 press. Don't wait too long, I emphasize, or the meat won't reach the proper size. When things start to sizzle, you're ready to go. Gently turn the meat, but don't be slow. Just turn them over easily. We don't want a broken patty, that's a guarantee. Press out the corners 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ugh.
Rock it a bit, are you keeping score? Top and bottom, left and right, and you'll get a patty that's out of sight. Press out the corners nice and wide, at least half an inch on both
Yeah, but
sides.
imagine seeing this video like years after
The reason
this was out of
press
style and they were like still using
when
it.
the meat hits the grill, it starts to shrink.
Like, what the fuck? Like, this is fucking scary. What the fuck?
When you see red juices on the top of the meat, it's time to give the turn and press a repeat. Do it again just like you did before. Do the 4-corner press just one time more. Now once you press this the second time, don't press them again because the meat's just fine. But when you see red juices rise, turn the patty over to the other side. Don't scrape the grill, we want it wet, you see. And keep the meat moist so it's hot and juicy. When the meat's red juices no longer rise, you can serve that patty, it'll win a prize. It takes about 4 minutes to cook, but just to make sure you can have a look. Use your tool and double check, it should be gray and moist to be correct. And order's placed, you're ready to go.
We never had a Wendy's where I lived until
Just
like
so.
I was in high school.
Once the is totally done, place the patty squarely on the heel of that bun. Now there you go, Billy, you give it a shot. Don't be afraid, I think you're gonna be hot.
Where do I start?
When they made it, that was when the dollar menu was a thing, and you could get like the junior bacon, a nugget,
Well,
and a fry, and a drink, all for
Meat's got
$1.
grain to it.
Just like wood.
Those were the days.
Follow the arrows
Lay it down like you should.
from front to back. Lay it down.
Space it evenly, not scattered all around.
Next, I've got to salt the meat.
From the back to the front, it makes the taste complete.
Not too little.
Not too much.
With the little finesse, I think I'm getting the touch.
Hey.
Wood meat.
When things start to sizzle, you're ready to go.
Gently turn the meat, but don't be slow.
Just
Oh, it
turn
looks
them
so
over
nasty.
Easily.
We don't want a broken patty.
That's a guarantee.
Press them now, right?
Top and bottom, left and right.
Press
I hear
out
people
the
talk about Greg's
corners,
all the time, I feel like.
Nice and wide, about half an inch on every side.
Everything
Try
looks
soaking
so
up a bit on the
wet.
spatula. Hey, all right. Okay, what's next?
Let me see. I've salted, turned, pressed. Oh yeah. When you see red juices on the top of the meat, it's time to give them a turn, then press a repeat. Do it again just like you did it before. Do the four-corner press just one time more. Once you press it the second time,
I mean,
don't
people
press
do
it
that all the
again,
time in
because the meat's
commercials.
just
Like
fine.
every ice cream picture you've ever seen wasn't real ice
Turn that
cream.
patty to the other side. Don't scrape
They used to
the
like
grill.
make
We
ice
want it
cream out of
wet, you
glue
see.
to show in commercials and shit like that. Do you know that?
And when those red juices no longer rise, you can serve that patty. It'll win a
Prize.
It takes just about 4 minutes to
Cook.
But just to make sure you can take a
Look,
use your tool to double check.
it should be great and moist to be correct. Hey!
When an order's placed, you're ready to go. Just drain the meat.
Just like so.
Then when all the draining's done, you can
Yeah, I mean,
place a
clearly when they
spread
show,
on the middle
like,
of the bun.
All right.
Burger King
Billy.
hamburger.
That's
Like, it's not.
good. You're
It's
getting
not really
it
what that
down
is.
Like I knew you would. But just to be sure, there's still some more.
A customer orders a single with cheese. Here's the way you do it if you wanna please. Lay down the cheese in a juicy spot, but don't leave it too long or it'll get too hot. Tool it up, lay it off on the meat. Do it right, keep it neat. Drain then serve on a bun just so. Don't touch it with your fingers, that's a big no-no.
That patty looked normal.
To make a double cheese for someone big and mean, you
Yeah, imagine if you saw this today when you started working at Wendy's.
The patties have heat. Press them together and it's complete. Drain and serve.
I've only been to White Castle once my entire life.
Through the door. If they don't want cheese in your doubles plain, don't press them together. Just drain. Only serve a great looking patty. Never serve
I bought the frozen White Castles more than I've to White Castle.
Right, there's no need to get uptight if the dry, burnt, broken, or incomplete. That baby turns into chili meat. Don't serve that meat.
Oh, fuck.
You see, cause quality is our recipe. Put those patties in a chili pan and save them for all of our chili fans. But if they have cheese, then throw them away or it'll ruin our chili. Our experts say. Always try to anticipate, think ahead, or you'll be too late. Whether busy or slow, one thing remains the same. Keep your meat in the stages, that's the name of the game. No less than 4, no more than 5. Stage of meat's important, and that's no jab. Now your patties are hot and ready to go. Right in time with customer flow.
Stage 1, I'm raw, you just laid me down. I'm stage 2 and I'm getting brown. You turn me and press me.
Yeah, I mean, their show is probably better than what you could buy in a can.
I'm stage 3, you press me twice. Just one more stage before I'm nice. Stage 4, I'm hot, I should be done. Looking good like I should so you can serve me, son.
Yeah, the finger.
Stage 5 and I'm still alive. But serve me soon and don't be slow. I've only
She's
got
terminal.
1 minute to go.
The projection game is simple, you see. It's just common sense. That's the way it ought to be. When you know a lot of people will be coming around, don't hesitate. Start laying them down. When things slack off, do the same or you'll be wasting meat, and that would be a shame.
Yeah, they
Just
show this
one
to
last
trainees.
thing I've got to say, it has to do with the Wendy's way. Always serve top quality. Nothing
Probably
less
cost
than
them
the
like
best,
millions
that's
of
a
dollars to
guarantee.
make.
Remember this rap and you'll be hot. Give the grill your very best shot, and soon you develop some real grill skill. You'll be tough on the grill, yes you will. Mr. Bill.
Bill, the tape is over. Do you have any questions?
No, I think
that makes
I've got
sense.
it all.
Good. Then let's go up to the front line, and I'll get you started.
Now you know.
good. I think you got a handle on it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You got a real hamburger talent.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
And
You know,
Dave.
It's an old-fashioned hamburger, just like this one, that keeps our customers coming back to Wendy's.
What is he eating? It
Cooking
looks
and
awful.
pressing our hamburgers isn't easy. It requires a special talent, which takes some practice to develop. Every hamburger you serve our customers
Looks like it's on like a fucking
should be
English
the
muffin.
best in the business.
I won't get burned in the rush because I don't give up. When you're feeling the heat,
Guy like accidentally hit the guitar.
what you need. I've got real skill. It takes nerves of steel. When you got orders to fill, you need the one with the grill skill.
When I'm turning and pressing, I'm doing it right. It's always good to perfection. Gotta keep the team tight.
I like that manager.
Real skill. It takes nerves of steel. When you got orders to fill, look to the one with the grill skill.
The Wendy's I used to go to where I lived growing up. Like,
Covered.
it was like a family that ran it.
Out the door.
You go there and this like, there's this weird girl that would always be working there and she'd be like, yeah, my dad's coming to work later. And you're like waiting for the food. She would like talk to you. She'd be like, yeah, my mom got mad at my dad yesterday. The hamburgers were wrong. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, stop talking to me. She was so fucking weird. Can you just leave me alone?
When you got orders to fill,
She would be like mean sometimes. It was like, why am I being even nice to this person? I don't know. It was a strange situation. She'd act mad and stuff like that. It's like, all right, whatever. Whatever. I'll never forget that dumb Wendy's girl. Grill skills. All right. Let's get into yeah, seeing those talking patties must have fucked up a lot of people. I had a few things picked out here. All right, we'll watch this little mystery video that I was talking about the other day. The fuck is it? Lost it. Did anyone watch this video that was like every Silent Hill clone ever? They like talk about every single one. I mean to check that out too. It's like a newer video, I think. Now we're gonna watch this video about Scooby-Doo.
This is a map of the internet.
We'll watch some Colony.
It
I
tells
think
the
after
story
this.
of our culture, our interests, and how they change over time. Before Instagram, YouTube,
Mizurna
Facebook,
Falls is
or even
cool.
Google existed, there was a small community that lived on a tiny corner of this
It's like
map.
Twin Peaks, the game.
Hello? Jim. Hey. Can you hear me? I hear you.
On a website my friend Jim told me about.
Velma
What do
Dinkley.
you remember about this? What do I remember about VelmaDinkley.com? Well, the most dedicated Velma Dinkley fans.
Velma Dinkley is the underwhelming nerd from Scooby-Doo. This site is dedicated to her. It's a place for Velma fans to submit fan fiction, fan art, Scooby-Doo movie reviews, and it even has its own chat room, Velma Chat.
Velma
At
Chat.
the core of this small community is an intricate mystery.
Seen this?
A mystery I've been trying to solve for many months. The site's creator is anonymous.
Why do you hate
uses the
Velma?
pseudonym John Likeglass to protect his identity.
For some reason, I think we were just on a big Scooby-Doo craze.
Who's we? What does that mean?
Me and the boys, and then we got into a hot debate.
The debate
Me and the
is over
boys.
who the best Scooby-Doo character is. I know, but give me a minute.
So
She's
the
kind of
debate
descending.
happened, and of course, I had to do some research online. So I seeked out a credible source, and I found probably the most credible source I could find, made by this guy who's just a Velma fanatic.
Jim's debate has gone on for many years, and he finally wants to put it to rest. He says that having John Likeglass himself support his argument for Velma Dinkley will end it all. But John Likeglass, as Jim tells me, is missing.
I just want to know where he went. He's been taking care of this website for like 20 years, and then randomly in 2017, he's just done with it?
Jim wanted me to try to find John Likeglass, or at least try to figure out what might have happened to him, but I wasn't sold.
I think there's definitely more under the surface to this
Classic
website
internet
than
mystery.
it, initially looks like.
That's when Jim told me that he's found some strange things on this website, and that he's sure that there's more that he hasn't found yet.
Audio fucking up for anybody?
The farther you dig, the
Amazing.
more you'll just find, to be honest.
I've only just started to find the hidden pages on VelmaDinkley.com. The pages that have nothing to do with cartoons. Like here, aptly titled Skullduggery, Likeglass documents a 1969 event where human remains were found
Oh, yeah, I've
off
heard
the
of that
eastern
devil.
coast of Florida. 100 bodies were found. By him. So, I've spent the past 5 months trying to find John Likeglass. The further I dug, the stranger things got. As I found more and more, it felt as if John Likeglass himself was on the other side of my screen, leaving me personally a trail of breadcrumbs, almost wanting to be found. I have lost countless hours of sleep trying to answer this one question. Who is this complicated man that's hiding behind a pen name? The first thing I did was ask Velma Chat if they knew where Likeglass was, but they had no idea. They claimed he hasn't been around for 5 or 6 years, and one member even speculated that he might not be with us anymore. It became clear. Velma Chat also doesn't know what happened to Likeglass. I would have to look elsewhere. Likeglass is a remarkably influential figure in this fandom of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, this haircut's pretty in right
Fans
now.
make memes of him. Academic articles dedicated to the history of the show proudly mention his name. His site has reached over 1 million people, gaining over 10 million views. How is this guy hard to find? Here is what we do know. He worked in network management, which makes sense because the Whois lookup for the site is also anonymous. We know what he looked like 15 years ago, but I don't actually
basically
know how
Curtis
helpful
Connor
it is.
and this guy.
And that's it.
And like
I found a blog
Dubs
post
had the same hair.
formatted
Those
as
are the
if
only
it's an
3 people I can
academic
think of.
article. It documents the history of the online Scooby-Doo fandom. Likeglass, of course, is mentioned. The author said that some of the most influential people in the community did interviews for this piece. So I reached out. Maybe they knew Likeglass. They were, quote, happy to talk with me more about this over email. But when I emailed and told them that I wanted to know more about the Scooby-Doo online community, the author said they weren't comfortable talking to me. I told them they could be anonymous, off camera. I would even deepen their voice to hide it. But after a month and several more attempts to get this insider to talk, I was left with no response. What did I just stumble upon? Does a community of
Well, also,
online
now that
Scooby-Doo
everyone's
fans
seeing
have
everyone else
something
have
to
mullets,
hide?
everyone wants to try it. No one wanted to be the first guy to do
Luckily,
the mullet.
someone else
Now
mentioned
everybody-
it in the
you know
article
what I
was
mean?
willing to
Now that the water is
I guess I
Been
was in
in.
the car with my dad, and we were driving home, and one of the barns had caught on fire nearby. All the neighbors were coming out. Because of my condition, he was like, can someone take my son inside because the smoke isn't going to do good for him? So a lady took me inside, and they got the
Oh,
fire
it's like
under
a-
control. The animals were safe, whatever. Anyway, she brought me back out and was like, I just
It's like
put some
a,
food on for him, and he was good. And then I came home from there and was just
faux
like, hey, I
mullet.
ate everything. Let's go.
It's not like a faux
I was
mullet,
born
but
with
a
congenital
faux
heart
mullet.
defect. In like very simple terms, that means I'm missing the right side of my heart. So my heart is on the
This
right
part's kind of
side
sad.
my body.
I feel bad for
Told
this
my
guy, but he's
parents,
cool.
like, he's not gonna be born alive. And then once I was born alive, they were like, he's not gonna last the first 24 hours. And then they just kept giving me death dates, basically. But I was always told 18 is gonna be your max. Here I am, 26.
Ashton has a popular YouTube channel where he is a leading figure for the Scooby community.
And then from
Hell
there,
yeah.
I kind of like dived into the Scooby community online.
The online Scooby community supported Ashton through his toughest moments.
Me and my parents never have had this like emotional connection. 2 years ago, I came out as gay, and that was a really like
This community.
really rough time for me.
His family is very religious, Mormon.
I came out as gay. I had a lot of people leave, a lot of people, be mad, this and that.
He even met his first boyfriend through his Scooby.
I gotta kind of wonder if the Shaggy
So
look,
sometimes I go like my
something he
Scooby to my
like
past
self
as like my closeted hiding self. Is it the community? Is it my
manifested.
past? Is it, what is it? Well, no, because I've always found comfort in Scooby. I'm gonna be very brutally honest about this, to be honest. I just don't like the community anymore.
Ashton didn't give me any details, but here's what he did tell me.
Like, I guess what I see is there's like certain people that kind of
I just think it's
felt
funny this is happening in
they
every
were
community.
the heads of the community, if you will. And if you weren't doing things to their
It always will
liking
be
or
happening.
to how they do it or whatever, not that they would turn people against you, but they wouldn't like even give you the time. So then it started to like cause this chain reaction.
Ashton said that the plot and the characters of Scooby-Doo have changed significantly over the years, and those changes brought in a lot of new fans. I didn't expect to be getting into the drama of online fandom, nor did I really want to, but trust me, it's worth it.
These people that were, say, on the online community longer than us kind of felt like they were the legacy of Scooby Online.
The old members of the fandom decide what's right and what's wrong, because their version of Scooby-Doo, at least to them, is the pure one.
Can I share my screen and show you this website? And I'd love to get a gauge on if you feel like this is some of the legacy people or if this has changed into the new type of community.
Okay.
This is velmadinkley.com.
Beautiful.
The creator of the website seems to have gone missing in 2017, and we're trying to figure out where he went. I think in order to understand where this guy went, we have to understand what he was doing in the first place.
That's an interesting year.
Wait, what Ashton says next is really important, and it actually brought me to my first major breadcrumb. Listen.
Because I feel like that's like the year everyone started to pop up in the Scooby community. So maybe this person's
That's
mixed
the
in
year.
somewhere and we don't know.
This is my friend Jordy. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Jordy's gained a large following on her YouTube channel for her deep dives on pop culture and its impacts.
Believe me when I tell you, Jordy doesn't watch cartoons. She studies them.
Is this normal in this universe?
This Bratz movie is a literal fever
I would
dream.
never eat this.
The dance moves are so.
The Bratz
2006.
universe is
Go to
bizarre.
velmadinkley.com.
Another one that's
Oh.
insane.
Oh my god.
I wanted
There's,
Jordy
like,
to get into
games
the
and
brain of
movies and
John
shit.
Like Glass. Which version of Velma did he love? But that's going to take someone who's capable of watching a lot of hours of Scooby-Doo.
Jordy's busy, so I dove in. A quick Google search for John Like Glass revealed that he was actually a character in an episode of Scooby-Doo. The bad guy's name was John Like Glass. And that the episode was released the same year that Like Glass disappeared. Maybe this could lead us to him. Maybe this is why he dropped off the face of the internet. So I asked Jordy to add it to her list to watch the 15th episode of Season 3 of Scooby-Doo Original Mysteries. The episode is called Fred and the Creature. But we ran into a problem.
What is happening?
Right, dude?
There is nothing. What?
What? The episode was wiped from the internet. Nowhere to be found.
Aired on Cartoon Network, but it's not part of the...
They took it out.
This is weird as fuck.
This is very odd.
I have someone that may be able to help us figure this out. A walking Scooby-Doo encyclopedia. You're gonna meet him in a moment.
No way.
Hey, Ashton.
Hi.
We cannot figure out where this episode is.
Yeah, it's one that doesn't exist, and so I'm wondering where this came from. I don't...
I've been like knee deep in this for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some weird shit about Velma Chat, dude.
I think my favorite thing is that this like picture that's made with like him and like Velma hugging him and saying, "Thank you, John, for making a site about me. Your wife must be so proud." And his wife's just like kind of in the background, really like eerily.
When talking about digital breadcrumbs, clues often lurk in unseen corners. This isn't just an ordinary photo, albeit objectively hilarious. Its metadata holds a secret. Though Sandy is an absolute banger of a name, I'm not really sure that this helps a ton. I really didn't want to disappoint Jim.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hear it all.
I know, right?
I figured I found this one tiny clue deep in the site itself. Maybe if I look deeper, there will be more.
In the About the Author page, it says, now in its 20th year, the site has had over 1 million visitors and well over 10 million page views. Internet Archive has backed up this page 71 times. In October of 2002, the site
found the cover up.
37,000 visitors. All right, this is where the work begins. Okay. April 15th of 60,000, 2004, 500,000 visitors. Dang. It's up to this a lot at this time. 160,000 visitors. Dang. 13th year, 2012. And 6 million, 2017. That's a big jump, John.
Look at this. This graph shows how many people came to velmadinkley.com over the years. But this graph shows how many times John Lightglass updated this site. I showed this to Ashton. He said the timeline lines up perfectly with one person.
Do either of you know who Scott Innes is? Okay.
Hi, this is Scott Innes.
He was like a big Scooby fan.
Ennis is the name of the town in the True Detective
Scott
season
Innes
4.
then became
Is that
Scooby-Doo.
connected?
No, seriously.
Because that was back in the late 90s when those movies came out. Those 4 movies are considered like the legacy Scooby movies. It's like everybody bows down to them. It's like if you don't like them, you're not a Scooby fan.
But then Innes lost the role, the same year that John Lightglass started losing interest in the site.
Hello?
Hey, Scott.
Hey!
But first, for as long as I've made videos, I've used Storyblocks. They're also the sponsor for today's video. Storyblocks is a place for you to download an
Well, you can
unlimited
pay
amount
the
of professional stuff
domain and
you
hosting
get,
ahead of
and it's
time.
Curated
Like
too. They make available to
10,
you 4K
20
footage,
years.
templates for After Effects, Premiere Pro, and Apple Motion, not to mention music, sound effects, illustrations, and like way more. You get all of this for a predictable subscription cost. The subscription model really does make sense here because
Of course,
stock
there's a
media
fucking
usually
ad in
costs
it.
an arm and a leg for just one clip. Because of this, Storyblocks has no royalty fees and no
Everybody
hidden fees
has a
ever.
media
I really
site they like to
appreciate
use
it,
like
and their
this.
After Effects templates. I'm super serious. All right, back to the guy who voiced Scooby-Doo.
Very useful though.
That's crazy.
Hello, everybody. He's hip, he's cool, and like he's Scooby-Doo's best friend.
Sometimes I like to let the sponsor play.
This is Papa's first careful, guys. Like I tell you, Scoob, then like there's nothing like being interviewed on the way home, huh? Yeah, oh boy, the Scooby-Dooby-Doo and Scrappy-Dappy-Doo too. Puppy power!
Do you by chance have a favorite character in Scooby-Doo?
Well, I'll be honest with you. People ask me what my favorite character is in the Scooby-Doo franchise, and I gotta tell you, I love Scrappy-Doo.
How do you feel about Velma as a character?
I love Velma. I mean, I think Velma's the sexiest one in the group.
Jordy felt like that line alone disqualified Innes from being Lightglass.
What's interesting is that VelmaDinkley.com was created in 1999. So we really are working with a couple of versions of Velma that would kind of inspire John Lightglass to create VelmaDinkley.com. And this is before her tighter fitting turtleneck or before Hot Velma.
And Jordy was right. I stumbled upon a website. I'm curious if you've heard of it. It's called VelmaDinkley.com.
VelmaDinkley.com. I have not heard of that.
He's not John Lightglass. Jordy said that this is the Velma that Lightglass loves.
But she's also like a really good friend. She lost her glasses, classic, iconic moment. She thinks that the knight is Shaggy.
There you are, Shaggy.
And she thinks that he's still sick with a cold. And so she's like looking for his medicine.
Lucky I brought your medicine.
Fucking
She's
look
like
at her
almost
face.
kind of nurturing and a really good friend, but she's also like very kind.
Yeah, okay, that checks out.
I was wondering what happened here, so I went back to the Internet Archive and searched for sites that John Lightglass was updating around that time. I found another page that's completely unrelated to cartoons. It's about an 80s rock band called Witness. That page linked to another site called witnessrocks.com. And here's how things went.
Nice.
Updates page. Boring. Journal entry titled deleted. Okay, I'm interested. Sandy. Whoa. Like wife Sandy that goes to Disney every year? Okay, continue on. April 2008. Sandy again? Keep reading. Anybody that has some good pics of last night, email them in. What's the email? At VelmaDinkley.com.
Oh, shit.
Lightglass goes by JD. Command F. JD. JD, back left, attached photo. Shit. Not helpful. Email JD, even though I don't have photos of last night. No response. Find YouTube channel. JD from Witness.
Okay, but I look like a fat slob.
Get in there.
Roy, not as far as I do. There you go. Okay. Yeah, just roll it. Say hi, everybody.
It's him.
There he is.
Find his bio. Worked with bands such as AC/DC, Cheap Trick, Thin Lizzy,
This is
REO,
awesome.
and The Tubes. Damn. Go off John Lightglass. Links to his website. Call every number I can find. Shit. So close. JD is in a band with friend Lisa and a choir. Lisa again. Beekeeping YouTube channel. Didn't see that one coming, but again with Lisa. So call Lisa.
Hello?
Hi, is this Lisa?
It is.
Ask about JD.
Yes, in fact, he's going to be here at 4:30. I'm so glad you reached me. Would you mind calling at like 4:45?
Whoa.
This is John.
John, I cannot believe I'm speaking with you right now.
What was the website?
Well, does the name John Lightglass mean anything to you?
Yes, actually it still exists, VelmaDinkley.com.
Wow, okay, this is a huge moment for me. You're the guy.
This is JD, the lighting man. Tell us a little, do you design the lighting for this particular club?
No, for the band. I
He did the
with
lighting
band.
for REO Speedwagon. Their concert shows. It's like how he got famous. Oh, that's how he got his job.
Born in Long Island,
Witness
John
me.
Lightglass moved to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, basically a JoJo
There
reference.
he found
Almost.
community through music, eventually joining a band.
I was working with a band, and we'd all rehearse at the manager's house on Fridays nights, and there was a cake involved.
Excuse me.
And most of the band members didn't make it out the front door. They ended up asleep on asleep on our manager's floor. And his kids would come out in the morning and turn the TV on, and you'd like wake up a little bit and say, "What's that?" And I just remember waking up one day to, it was a Scooby-Doo episode, and there's this girl with glasses going on and on, very sarcastic, and it's like, wow, that's a neat character. And I started watching Scooby-Doo and got stuck on that.
Why Velma Dinkley out of the five?
That goes back to grade school. I actually had some, childhood friends that are reminiscent of the character. So, it was like, a little bit of a flashback there. You know, it was just someone who was very much similar to the character. I moved into this area. There weren't too many people in the area that I live, and I had maybe 2 or 3 neighbors. So we ended up, you know, playing together all the time. And then, you know, life happens, and, you know, she went her way, I went my way, and that was that.
Then the characters developed. That's when most people came into the community, as Velma was becoming more attractive and more complex. I can only assume that Lightglass no longer saw his friend in the character and lost interest.
This seems like at one point in time it was something really special to you. Has your interest in the character and the community dwindled?
Well, you know, the thing being is this was a cartoon about 4 characters and their dog going on adventures. You know, it's very simple, very straightforward. There wasn't the depth of characters that they're trying to generate nowadays. You know, when you watched it for the fun of it. It's changed over the years, and I was having a chat with a good friend of mine who you know, Lisa, and I said, you know, I kind of miss the old original series, and she said very matter-of-factly, that wouldn't work nowadays. You know, if you tried to put that type of series on, it just wouldn't take. And that's the sad truth, you know, for better or for worse, times have changed. The only thing, you know, being left is the Velma chat. I popped in a couple of weeks ago just to see the names, and the names have changed. There's, you know, 2 or 3 characters that still pop up, but most of them I don't know.
How does that feel for you that you don't recognize the community that's around your own creation here?
Well, time moves on. Life takes you in very many directions, but at the end of the game, you know, I like the idea that I've had the ability and the experience to get into all these different fields and have a little fun with them.
While we were making this video, Ashton made a leap. He exited the online Scooby-Doo community and rebranded himself.
I am very much the black sheep of the family in every possible way. I am the only one with a major medical issue. I am the only one that's not straight. I'm the only one without kids. I'm the only one without a career. I'm the, you know, I'm like, the list goes on and on of how I'm just different, because I felt like my life was becoming, I was my best friend's best
Sorry,
friend.
I'm back.
I was my parents' son.
I heard a
was
sound
never
outside and I had to
me.
investigate.
You know, I was the Scooby-Doo YouTuber. I never had a name. It's fine, but I just
To make
felt
sure
like
there's some
I didn't have an
Scooby-Doo shit going down.
Fandom served its purpose for Ashton. It provided him with a community that empowered him to feel comfortable in his own skin and to find himself.
Can you read off this letter that Ashton posted?
I went down a rabbit hole of making mainly Scooby-Doo content for a bit, and while it was really fun, it became almost all of who I am.
What
Now
about
that
the dead
Ashton's
bodies?
found himself, he
Seriously,
really
ask
doesn't
about the dead
need
bodies.
this type of fandom anymore.
For as long as the channel has been alive, it has always been called Smash.
But I'm ready to embrace all of me. And that's why I'm changing it to my name.
You can't say you left the Scooby-Doo fandom
allow
while
me
sitting
to
next to a giant
introduce
Scooby-Doo.
myself, or
I mean,
reintroduce myself.
true.
My name is Ashton Hardy, and I'm so excited to meet all of you friends.
You could still like Scooby.
Why an alias?
I don't know of any of those original sites that where the person actually put their name up there.
I found a few pages on VelmaDinkley.com I wanted to ask you about, one of which is Skullduggery.
Oh,
Bodies.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. My aunt and uncle owned a place out on Sanibel Island off of Florida, and they had opened up this island that they were going to move into. They went to start moving a little earth around and found all these skeletons. It was very creepy.
You want the
Fuck.
update? You ready for this? So I found John Lightglass. I told him about your argument, this debate you've been in.
Yes.
And he
Yeah, well, thanks for saying
thought
that,
he
Mindy.
might chime in here.
Hey, Jim, you got the right character to be interested in. She has depth as much as a cartoon character.
Thanks for watching. This is our first episode of a new series.
At that same
we're
microphone as John
tentatively calling
Lightglass.
Internet Archaeology. If you have a better name, seriously, let us know.
John Lightglass.
I'm really not kidding about that. Let us know. We're hoping to tell stories from the early internet or the deep
Definitely check this
areas
channel
of
out.
the
He's got a
internet
cool
that most people don't often go
couple
to.
videos
so
up.
If
He
you
only has
have
like a
any of
few
those in
up.
mind, please send us an
The link to
email.
it.
Even if it's not internet related, if you have a big question that you've always wanted answered, let us know.
The Scooby-Doo fan base. Yeah, that was a great video. I do like that one a lot. Here's another really good one, but it's a little bit longer. But check it out. Then maybe we'll watch I think we'll watch The Colony after that. Playing both sides. This one is completely different, but also extremely interesting. Why the FBI want this
The question is,
TikToker?
aren't you risking getting caught by posting? Here, you want proof? Here's
YouTube is dying.
the question is, aren't you risking getting caught by posting? Here, you want proof? Here's my tattoo. If anybody doubts, check the website and call the FBI Pittsburgh if you want.
This is Chad Hauer.
Okay, bro, we get it. You're wanted by the FBI. I'm not hiding, FBI. Come get me. They've been after me for 16 years and can't get me. So what I'm doing here is calling them out. I'm mocking
You see
them
this guy?
publicly.
And
Not.
this is his son.
Oh,
At
that's
the
funny.
age of 11 years old, he went missing. Chad's son, Eris, was believed to be kidnapped and transported to one of two island nations in the Middle East, Cyprus or Bahrain.
I wrote parts of Skype. I wrote parts of the communication system on the space station.
Chad Hauer is a world-renowned computer programmer.
I was a public speaker for Microsoft. I was on TV. I was in newspaper articles. And then I traveled to Bulgaria in September 2009, was arrested.
Here, he discovered that he's wanted by the FBI and Interpol.
I was a very public figure. I had a very successful career until the FBI absolutely destroyed it. I was the American Taliban when I was in Bulgarian prison. They nicknamed me the Taliban because when I explained to them what I was in for, they didn't believe it. No matter how many times we told them, they absolutely would not believe it. An extradition failed from here for the same reason it did in Bulgaria. The FBI has no evidence whatsoever because it never happened.
So he traveled to this tiny island nation where he's been living ever since.
Okay.
Chad needed to prove
Wish
to the world
McAfee
that he did not kidnap
not wrong.
his own son. He turned to TikTok and has been using the app as a platform to tell his story.
16 years ago this week, my son went missing. The thing is, he was never missing, and they always knew where he was.
His account has received widespread recognition from some of TikTok's largest creators.
It's maybe the wildest story on all of TikTok.
According to Chad, in 2011, he got critically ill. Life-threatening.
3 nights ago, I had 6 convulsions in the middle of the night. What the doctors told me, the new labs, is I'm in a race to find out which kills me first. Sepsis, kidney infection, kidney failure, heart attack, or stroke.
It's some vague illness that requires a specialist to diagnose and treat.
I mean, to be fair, TikTok is
twice already. They're surprised how I'm still alive.
a lot of weird shit on it.
And beyond that, I need a lot more diagnostics. We don't even know what I need beyond that. Most urgently, I need electroshock wave lithotripsy.
The type of specialist that isn't available on the island nation he's trapped on.
They at least need some more fucking rules. People like checking things on TikTok.
I'm painfully dying here. I need help. I'm begging anybody. This is a cover-up.
If he travels for outside medical help, he'll be detained
like
by
that
Interpol
fucking
like he was in Bulgaria and sent
car
back to the U.S. on a flight that he
stealing
says
fad from TikTok and stuff like that. So much just like criminals teaching how other criminals how to do things.
Chad Hauer has received over 121
Seems like on TikTok.
million views and is known as the TikTok fugitive.
I'm Alex, and I'm not missing.
Dr. House.
This man is dying because of a crime that he never committed. The victim, his son, even said that it never happened. Originally, I thought, if only the FBI knew. Here's a man that slipped through a bureaucratic loophole and is dying because of it. If media attention could help open up some doors to eventually save this man's life, why wouldn't I tell his story? So I started talking to Chad before this channel even existed. I've been interviewing this international fugitive on and off for over a year. I've been putting together a timeline with Mia, getting to know Chad's helpers, being knee-deep in court documents, tracking down anonymous online accounts, and fact-checking his claims to millions. And after all this time, there may only be one thing I've taken away. The TikTok fugitive is hiding something.
Yeah, apparently he's like pretty famous. Other than this video, I'd never heard of him before though.
Chad is
I think
officially
that's
charged with
kind of
the
the
crime
point,
of
though.
international
People are
parental
saying.
kidnapping. As you may imagine, the root of this is a custody dispute. A few years ago, Chad's missing son, Eris, who now goes by Alex, did a media blitz.
Well, it's a custody battle that didn't go too well. A 25-year-old who's still in the missing person database is trying his best to clear his name and his father's name.
25-year-old Eris Howard is seeking help
Twitter and YouTube are
back to the U.S. Now he and
pale
his
in
father
comparison.
can do so, all
The amount
because
of
a custody
youth that
battle
like use it.
that went too far.
But the now 25-year-old isn't really missing.
They're apples and oranges.
He's been unable to leave the Caribbean island, St. Kitts, all because of a battle between his parents that went wrong.
The FBI spent so much money on this case.
Twitter is
but
just
they don't
divorced
wanna
dad.
accept. Way back, when I
Internet
was like maybe 5 or
stuff
6,
now.
my parents
YouTube is like on the way there too.
Tennessee has jurisdiction. My mother had full custody, and my dad had like visitation, but she kept disobeying the court.
See, it's a custody dispute doing custody dispute things.
Others say it was a custody battle that shouldn't have gone this far.
Honestly, I don't even really know who's right here. And it doesn't really seem like my place to have an opinion. Everybody knows custody disputes are notoriously terrible. And
If you have an A and an S in your name, you get to change
story
it.
that I think Chad wanted me to focus on the most, or at least the foundation for it.
It's a farce. They know what's going on.
Chad believes that the way things played out, which is in favor of his ex-wife, point to a deeper conspiracy.
And that's what I'm telling you. This is not just a bureaucratic black hole I'm in.
That some powerful outside force, be it the US government, FBI, or CIA, has some ulterior motive.
This has been intentional from day one. They know what the hell they're doing.
That someone or something powerful wants Chad for another reason. He believes that the custody dispute is so dubious that there must be something else going on.
Now, here's the part I can't say too much about.
So, at risk of wasting my time, I tried to entertain that idea, to see this dispute as Chad does.
Chris, the new guy that joined the group, sorry, what was your name again?
Jack.
Jack. New guy that joined the group, Jack. Go ahead and send
So
me all
the best
documents.
part about this guy is that his
This is from a podcast series called
alternate
Wanted,
persona is
where Jack
Gru
Lawrence
from the
interviews a
Minions.
defense attorney about
And he calls all his workers the Minions.
By the ex-wife, a claim of
He puts on a fucking Gru hat. He cosplays as Gru
So it's interesting
on TikTok
you got
and
a
stuff.
US prosecutor to even bring the charges in the first place, let alone then have the appetite to try to go all these steps to extradite the individual. So it's
Until
highly
you see
unusual
the
on
Gru
many
stuff, it's
levels.
awesome.
August 3rd, 2000.
Yeah, he does look like
Chad,
Gru.
His now ex-wife, and Alex are all living in Tennessee. Chad gets the news that he won the primary election for his campaign to become a representative in the Tennessee State House. 3 months later, Chad loses the general election by a landslide. The following month, he gets a
The Gru hat.
strange invitation.
December 2000. So my friend, I don't want to reveal his name here, but my friend, let's just call him Harry. That's not his real name, but let's call him Harry. And he was like, hey, you like to travel to weird places and stuff, right? And they needed somebody to carry a lot of bags. So he invited me to go along to Russia with him.
It's a city called Irkutsk. It's out here in Siberia. Personally, you couldn't pay me to go to
Isn't it like the
Siberia
end
in
of the
December.
world? There's just like nothing
I'm
else
not
there.
Chad. When Chad returned home, he and Alex's mom agreed to separate. So we moved to Europe. 2002, divorce is finalized. 2004, Chad gets hired by Microsoft. And this is where the story really unfolds. Chad's ex-wife, at that moment having custody of Alex, violates court orders and moves to Pennsylvania. 2 hearings are held in Tennessee, and Chad's ex-wife is nowhere to be seen. The judge, holding Alex's mother in contempt of
Yeah,
court,
I need someone to
gives
carry
Chad primary
bags.
custody. Chad's ex-wife tries to move the custody case out of Tennessee and into Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania says, no. Tennessee has jurisdiction. Fast forward through the trenches of a custody battle. Chad's ex-wife won't return Alex to him.
So the judge says, okay, no, there's a Tennessee order. It's still in effect. You have to put the child on the plane. And she's literally like, not going to do it. And a judge ordered police to remove
He's
him
like
from
all
his
these
mother after
fucking
some
crazy
visitation
places.
and put him on a plane back to Europe where he lived the last time he was in the United States for visitation. I did not kidnap him. I did not run. And then a few weeks later, the same judge turns around.
They
and
need
orders him to go
Kieran
to court
Culkin to
for
play
a
this
hearing.
guy in a movie.
shit.
I swear to God.
You just
Kieran
had
Culkin
him.
would be perfect for this
Listen,
man.
You don't even have jurisdiction. Right? And this is when
Could
he
see
declared my
it.
son was born in Pennsylvania. Then he's like, well, the child's born in Pennsylvania, so I'm taking jurisdiction. But the child wasn't. We objected to that. And he's like, nope, I say he's born in Pennsylvania. So fuck you.
Alex wasn't born in Pennsylvania, but what I'm hearing is that Pennsylvania knowingly lied, forcefully changed their mind and took jurisdiction of this case. But Tennessee still says their order is active. So we have 2 custody disputes happening in 2 different states that don't say the same thing. And on January 9th, 2007, the Pennsylvania court warns Chad, agree to return Alex in the next 14 days or Pennsylvania will issue a bench warrant. Over time, this escalates to a secret closed-door hearing to indict Chad at the federal level.
And then when they put me in Interpol, I didn't know. It was done in a secret closed-door hearing. It was done in a grand jury. My lawyers were not notified, so they weren't even allowed to attend. And it was only the DA and my ex-wife and the FBI guy who basically framed me.
Well, yeah, he's
okay. So something weird.
like
might
really the
have happened
whole.
here. I'm not saying I'm
he's
sold
using
on the
it
idea of the federal government
make himself
getting their hands
seem like
dirty
a
in
fucking
custody
international
case from
criminal.
Tennessee, but like millions of others online, I thought maybe making
Really the
the
crux
next
of it.
question, why is the TikTok fugitive really wanted? When Chad was at Microsoft, he was a representative for the Middle East and Africa region.
I was traveling all throughout the Middle East. Carte blanche, no problems. When I did have problems, Microsoft fixed it. I once got into Saudi Arabia with help of the royal family after my visa had a problem. I've been to a lot of places. I have talked to high-level officials. I've spoken to cabinet members in Pakistan. I had Saudi officials from the Saudi Ministry of Defense approach me one time.
So,
I think that possibly
Forget anyone could just like say anything they want with
FBI
a
guy
lot of
got
this stuff.
interested, and I think that possibly the CIA was trying to recruit me, and they wanted to
You
get
just
me
have
in
to,
custody and then be
you
like,
know.
we can make these charges go away if you work for us.
I walked Bob Dylan onto the stage.
I won't outright dismiss it, but for me, that raised a lot of red flags. Since gaining a large following on social media,
Everyone knows
Chad
if you
has
work for
started a
Microsoft, you can go
Telegram.
anywhere in Asia
Here,
you want.
his minions, as he calls them, help him come up with a case. And they
Flat.
also generate non-stop conspiracy theories.
Here it is. Yes, Minion
I
Squad.
should also mention, Chad often cosplays as Gru from the Minions movies, hence Minions.
Get it. These are his TikToks.
Oh, you didn't see my Gru hat. I just got a Minion hat today.
You have a hat too.
Yeah, I got the scarf. I've got.
I've been getting to know Chad's right-hand man, or head minion, if you want to call him that. His name's Chris, and honestly, he seems to be the most level-headed out of the whole group.
Hello, Jack.
It's just a random room.
Hello,
of
Jack.
Some really weird people, whether it's Chad or some of these other, like, minions, as he calls them, spouting off these half-baked thoughts about the CIA and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's like... That's why I don't read that group chat anymore. I have not seen any evidence that Chad was ever approached by any foreign intelligence agency or
The audio
that
being
was
weird
ever
for you
implied
guys?
by any U.S. agent
The audio just stutter at all for you? No.
talking to him after his arrest. I feel like
Dude,
when
is
you're in
this,
a
like, fucked
situation
up?
like his where he's now had like over 10 years to kind of just like
Yeah, my
piece
shit's getting like weird
together narratives.
interference.
I think that reality and what he's put together in his own head around these things probably don't necessarily match.
AKA, it's all bullshit.
Surely there's got to be more to this than a simple custody battle. I mean, have you ever heard of a man being extradited or attempted to be extradited 3 times by the FBI, placed on a wanted list with an Interpol red notice purely over a custody battle?
Absolutely not, of course. And so as you correctly predicted, it's
I think he knows like state secrets or something.
I kidnapped a child, according to the FBI. A judge ordered police to take the child and put him on an international flight. The same judge then laid charges of kidnapping on me. I moved to Europe 5 years before and wasn't even in the United States. Okay, so 2001, and I have to look this up, but I believe it was May. I'm pretty sure it was May when I moved to Europe. That's not what happened. My son
You got this guy going around to like Russia and stuff.
Out of curiosity,
I don't know.
I wanted to know what other theories Chad had.
So one of the theories is that I moved out of the United States in early 2001. Okay?
Yeah, I might just have myself up pretty
And
high.
I moved
too,
to
though.
Russia. As an American, moving to Russia, in fact, I moved to Siberia, not even like Moscow or St. Petersburg. I moved to Siberia in 2001.
That's not Europe. That's like as Asia gets. Chad moved in with his now wife. She's a Russian national.
But the thing is that she lived in a
He does have those
small
crazy
town,
eyes.
Not even directly in Irkutsk, but she lived in a place called Irkutsk 2. And this is a town that used to be closed to foreigners, so it's one of those secret towns. The whole second city is built around a military aircraft factory that produces Sukhoi fighters and has its own private airport that is only used for the factory. But here's where it gets a little bit deeper. The reason she lived in this city and grew up in this city is both of her parents worked at that factory, and not like sweeping the floors or anything. They had top level clearances. They didn't have like access to materials. They had the materials in their head.
Especially after Chad's outrageous last theory, I set out to verify all this. Directly from Reuters, October 23rd, 2022, a Russian military jet crashed into a residential building in the Siberian city of Irkutsk on Sunday, the second such fatal incident in 6 days. Declassified CIA documents from the Cold War. We were able to geolocate this photo of Chad. Okay, we have a lead. But why tell the world you moved to Europe?
I moved to Europe. I'm pretty sure it was May when I moved to Europe. My son already lived in Europe.
So we know the guy travels a lot, but if you were to say when he leaves the US, he moved to X.
I wouldn't be able to say confidently.
In the year 2000, Chad ran for office in the State House of Tennessee. Patriot. A year later, he's living on a secret military base in Russia. Something changed.
Well, I don't think it's Russia.
So we hopped on a call to clarify. We asked specific questions with dates and locations. Some things made sense, like in the winter, he would spend time in Cyprus and Turkey, Europe. But other things raised more questions. Chad and his Russian wife purchased citizenship in St. Kitts through a CBI scheme just months after the Pennsylvania judge threatened him.
I mean, currently, though.
After his arrest in Bulgaria, he traveled back to St. Kitts using his purchased passport. And he changed his name to Peter's. It's reflected on his St. Kitts passport. It's his new name. On this call, Chad's demeanor started to change, to me appearing like a man who felt like he was losing control.
I will talk to you about this now, but when you make the video, do not present this as the first part.
Oh, my God. Well, I do actually want to draw a clear line where in all conversations with you, we cannot give you any editorial insight or say, and if that's something that you want, we can't make this documentary.
For months, I had been watching and documenting Chad's online activity. What he posted, how often he posted, number of likes, comments, followers, and look at this.
I mean, that too. I think he could be a Russian double agent.
Many weeks where Chad was silent. This is really unlike him. So, what was he up to? I reached out to my friends Rob and Trevor. Trevor is known for being able to look at any image and identify almost exactly where it is in a remarkably short time.
Oh yeah, the Google
guy. Trevor already knew Chad and his story. I sent them a recent photo of Chad from his Telegram group. Chad's not in St. Kitts. He's in Russia.
Well, yeah, just watch the video.
In many ways, Chad is just like us. He leaves little breadcrumbs all around the internet that easily tell us more about him and his behaviors. Like this tattoo. Shown on his wanted poster, it's a phoenix, but it's also
he was talking to
a
Wendigoon
logo for an old company that he didn't tell us about. And if you reverse image search the logo, you'll find Phoenix01, his online anonymous username on a message board where he documents recipes to make meals made out of locusts, of all things. There are companies out there that broker data professionally, and they have information on probably all of us. They can get this data from a variety of sources, like government records, birth certificates, voter records, court documents, or social media, like the posts that you've made, the posts that you've liked, the quizzes that you've taken, or the websites that you've visited. And
trying to get us to eat bugs.
They sell it. Your data. Information about you. They are selling.
Oh yeah.
Chad gave me permission to investigate him. If
another clever
just some dude
ad read
can find out Chad's work history that he didn't tell me about, and that he might eat locusts just from like a tattoo on his arm. I don't want to know.
I'll let this one play because, like I said, I'll
intent
let some of them go.
or do
This
with
one,
data on me. So I use this.
Let's see the
tool
point of a
called
sponsor
Delete.
spot like
I
a
go
year
through
old.
these strenuous steps of
Because like
searching hundreds of
links
data
are
broker
obviously not working
websites and
anymore.
removing your data from it. In
Yeah,
January,
I mean it's a pretty
alone,
clever ad read.
Delete Me searched 3,500 listings for my information, and they found it listed on 55 different data broker websites. And then they got it removed. Delete Me routinely checks hundreds of data brokers to see if anything new comes up. And then they get it removed on my behalf. Super sweet. Delete Me has also graciously sponsored this portion of today's video. And they're also giving a 20% discount to anyone that joins up using the link in the description.
Yeah, it seems like a thing that people should think about.
Chuppel20. CHUPPL 20.
What is available about you out
If you
there.
are someone that doesn't like the idea of a corporation selling your personally identifiable information for financial gain, and you see the potential harms and risks of the data economy, click the link in the description, join Delete Me, get 20% off, and you'll get a report.
Like that
within
road
7
mixer he has in the background.
It's pretty cool. Thank you, Delete Me, for sponsoring this portion of the video. You enable us to make more videos just like this one. Back to the video.
No, I thought that was pretty short.
One of the most difficult things about this case is that absolutely no one wanted to talk about it. Chad's ex-wife moved, and she has no public phone number. Chad's old custody lawyers never responded. FBI couldn't comment, and Alex, the kidnapped child, won't take our calls.
Yeah, I wonder why.
He hung up. Feeling defeated, we decided to do our own digging in the endless abyss of the internet. Chad's a computer programmer from the early days. He's been on the internet for a long, long time. We thought, surely there's a paper trail, and there was. Personally, this one's my favorite. Caribbean Sunsets.
All right. What? Hell yeah.
But there's many others. We documented all of Chad's pseudonyms and usernames along the way. Each one
Yeah,
leading us
what the
to
fuck?
next.
You
What
just,
we
like, cold
found
call
is that
people about being
his life
kidnapped.
is much different when he
Were
posts
you
it
kidnapped?
anonymously.
And I know, I'm
Like
not trying to
fucking
throw any trouble,
dumbass
but I mean, there's no,
YouTuber.
like,
That would piss me off
backdoor
too.
surprises I'm gonna find out about here, like right.
I mean, I don't know.
Like I'm part of the FBI. Well, I don't know what you're asking here. If you have any specific concerns, I'd be happy to address them. I just don't know what you're asking.
His own
Nothing
dad
specific. I'm always in
also
my position. Just I always have to be
basically
concerned about everything. And
out.
I just, I'm just hoping it's not going to
be
come out
eaten
like
by the crows.
"Here's
So
this asshole hiding from the FBI. And if he just turned himself,
I'm also really trusting you here. I'm putting my reputation on the line.
I'm probably the most honest dude you're ever going to find. I mean, I've just honesty is just an integral part of my core.
Google his Russian name.
I got sick in 2011, 2012, and I was critically ill for over 10 years. I was unable to leave my house most of the time. I was in excruciating pain. I was basically slowly dying.
September 11th, 2015. Chad was the judge for a hackathon. Manager, Peter KN, like his Russian first name, and Kits and Nevis, the island he lives on, couldn't work.
No, I have not. Basically, since 2009 forward, I haven't been able to do crap.
Peter KN is a computer store. In 2016, they were open 6 days a week. But Peter KN is also another YouTube account of his. It's where he documents his road rage incidents.
oh my god.
Then fine, fuck off, lady.
At what point did you lose the ability to, lift something over your head?
Well, I could do it. It's just it was extremely excruciatingly painful.
Like you would be looking like, trying to do it.
Sometime post 2015.
Now, labor ignored us. Patches, useless patches ignored us.
Yeah, and then I couldn't leave.
Crazy
I had a massage
eyes.
chair. I could barely talk. I remember from COVID, from like 2020 until 2022 or so, I could barely talk.
See this cone? I can take the whole cone, and you can't even see the cone anymore.
When you change your name on YouTube, it doesn't change your URL. That stays as your original username, Piotrby. On cruisersforum.com, user Piotrby says he lived in Cyprus and Turkey and has a Russian wife and can see his 36-foot boat outside his office, which is right where the Peter Can computer store is, and that he can't sail every day because he has to go to work at his store and his kids have school. Chad says that some days he feels better than others. He's certainly sick. I've seen proof of it. But this made us think, is he playing this up? And if he is, has he always been doing this? So I went all the way back in Chad's TikTok. This is his second video ever. Listen to how he's talking. He is really sick.
Really, dude. Did I ever ask for money?
His third video ever was him responding to a comment of someone who doubted his illness.
Bulgarian prison over this shit.
I reversed the voice effect.
Everybody knows that if you have pen and paper, it's fake. But he's got pen and paper. Oh my god, it must be fake.
These two videos were posted in the same clothes, in the same chair, just 11 minutes apart.
Really, dude. Did I ever ask for money?
Everybody knows that if you have pen and paper, it's fake.
And none of this is fake. This is me on a good day.
But he's got pen and paper. Oh my god, it must be fake.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So what he refers to it as is a kidney disease of unknown origin. Because of his health situation, he is not able to be up and active and sitting at a computer. So when he would have some new court filings or he wanted to update something on his website, he would just message me to do it and I would do it. That's something that I would do to help him. So I guess that's the
I'd say now he basically is a content creator,
Spring you
influencer.
got connected with Chad.
I was just kind of following around in the background on TikTok, and then a couple times he had direct messaged me. The real catalyst was I had taken a job. That job had a mass layoff in August. For a while, I was just kind of doing Zoom calls with him every week as on top of my job search.
But this is a highly unusual case.
Some online theories paint Chad as a potential Russian intelligence asset. With the knowledge of his time in Siberia, I do wonder if there could be any validity to that. A now deleted page on Chad's Howard.org website includes a biography about his life. Chad's background includes work in the employment, security,
They would
chemical,
want you to
energy,
work for
trading,
Microsoft,
telecommunications,
probably.
wireless,
Pretty
and insurance industries.
desirable
the
position.
earliest backup of this website occurred during the time that Chad may have been living on the military aviation plant in Siberia. Security, chemical, and energy.
And one of those kidney
He didn't
destroying
tell me any of
boats.
that. Bulgaria is a former communist state, just a trip across the Black Sea from Russia. The two used to be great allies. But since 1989, the relations between the two countries have become really fragile. I gotta admit, it's a scary thought. The chance that Bulgaria might not want to piss off their all-powerful neighbors by extraditing a secret asset to America. Is that who we're dealing with?
Typically, you're seeking extradition for either a case that has a high monetary value or someone who's very violent or dangerous.
Why can't the FBI extradite me, and why have 3 extraditions from multiple countries failed?
But under the treaty that's in place between those two governments, it appeared that he would be someone who would be potentially eligible for extradition.
So if there's an extradition treaty in place, why wasn't he extradited?
And they're still trying to get me, even after multiple failed extraditions in multiple countries that were denied by the country's courts because they don't have any evidence. An extradition failed from here for the same reason it did in Bulgaria. The FBI has no evidence whatsoever because it never happened.
That's what Chad says. It's what I and millions of others believed. Here's the real reason.
But under the treaty that's in place between those two governments, it appeared that he would be someone who would be potentially eligible for extradition. I haven't seen any of the rulings from the Bulgarian side as to why they refused to do it.
I have. And it's so boring. It's so boring. Chad's story gets credibility from the attorney in the Wanted podcast, but the attorney admits it. He hasn't seen his documents.
And I don't know if you've come across any materials where the Bulgarian courts or officials have given their reasoning for not doing it.
Why Bulgaria chose not to extradite Chad is the foundation that his house of cards is built on. If there's an explanation for why Bulgaria denied his extradition, then it falls, one card after another. On November 24th, 2009, the extradition hearing was held and the request for extradition from Bulgaria was denied based on lack of dual criminality, meaning Bulgaria denied the American extradition request because Bulgaria did not, at least at the time, have an international parental
I think it's pretty
statute.
muddled.
They aren't saying that Chad is affirmatively innocent.
They had the evidence. Bulgaria just didn't consider it an extraditable offense. This is just how international law works. Chad logically knows this. He's seen the document. I know that because he sent it to me. But he's still convinced that this case was escalated wrongly and maliciously by an FBI agent and a district attorney. He uses TikTok to attack these two and claims that they were in on a conspiracy against him. Is FBI agent Kirk Brace the Rosetta Stone to understanding this story?
He's one of two.
And the other is
Christian Trable.
But the truth is, Chad's case played out by the books.
And then when they put me in Interpol, I didn't know. It was done in a secret closed-door hearing. It was done in a grand jury. My lawyers were not notified, so they weren't even allowed to attend. And it was only the DA and my ex-wife and the FBI guy who basically framed me. That was it.
Again, here's an attorney talking about Chad's case.
We have grand juries.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit possible pathological liar.
It's all secretive.
How pathological
right?
liar twists things.
For that. Number one, you don't want to tip off the potential defendant or defendants that they're being investigated. And on the other side of the coin, you don't want to have people's names smeared in the public just because they're being investigated.
Custody cases happen at the state level. In the 1970s, this caused a huge problem. A divorced parent would move across state lines, file for custody in that new state, and then ignore that old ruling. It was a form of parental kidnapping that the federal government noticed. So they passed the Parental Kidnapping Protection Act, which helps determine which state has jurisdiction. Chad cites some of it here.
Well, to transfer jurisdiction, you have to live in another state for 6 months. So it takes 6 months.
Yeah, and he's using it to his advantage for the attention.
And she had only been in Pennsylvania for 3 months, and she was there illegally. Okay? So it didn't count.
If a child lives in a state for 6 months, it's their home state, and the law gives that state jurisdiction. But if the child doesn't have a home state, like in this case, the law has a way to resolve it. Chad is leaving out that detail. The decision to move the case to Pennsylvania was by the books, the part that Chad is leaving out. Though there is one thing that Chad gets right, he's not guilty of what the indictment claims. Chad Zachary Howard did, with the intent to obstruct the lawful exercise of parental rights, remove a child from the United States, and retain a child outside the United States.
And a judge ordered police to remove him from his mother after summer visitation and put him on a plane back to Europe where he lived the last time he was in the United States for visitation. I did not kidnap him. I did not run.
Chad never removed Alex from the US, but all this comes down to is a typo. Look at this. The law doesn't say and, it says or retain a child outside the United States. This is the law that Chad's officially charged with. Chad could admit this, but instead he chooses to go on TikTok and claim that it's all a farce.
That's true too.
And since the indictment says that he removed his son from the US when he wasn't actually there, Chad makes claims saying that the US government says that he's a time traveler.
I was not in the United States in November. They've accused me of time travel, but the FBI says, we don't care. We say you're a time traveler. And multiple countries have denied my extradition because time travel doesn't exist. So how did I kidnap somebody? Was it time travel or teleportation? Because I'm confused here.
Chad views himself as the exception to the rule. That much I can say without a doubt. He also eventually told us how he slid under the radar of Interpol and made it back to Russia from St. Kitts.
And they swiped my passport. I could see the screen. It was like at a 45-degree angle. Yeah, it lit up like a Christmas tree. I thought, that's it. They're taking me. He's just like, well, there's a problem with your passport. And then he's making a phone call and he's talking. And after a while, a lady comes over from an office. She's like, okay, welcome to Cuba. I'm like, cool. 4th of July, I drove by the American Embassy and gave them a big old bird from a 1950s Buick. Hola, FBI. Suck it.
He really likes saying that.
Once the plane took off, it was literally like, suck it.
Since getting back to Russia, Chad has received asylum, and he's using that as proof that his case is just as significant as Edward Snowden's.
It's like Snowden, now me. So, for those of you who say that my story is, full of it, let me tell you, they don't go to asylum that anybody just shows up. You gotta have legitimate reasons. And I've been telling you my story is legit.
So I reached out to my friend Tanya, She's a Russian-born journalist now working at Bloomberg. She was a producer on the Oscar-winning documentary Navalny. It's about a real high-profile case in Russia.
What motivation does the Russian government have to give him asylum?
It's simple. If the U.S. has a beef with him, that makes the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
The Russians know the history of this case. They don't hand this out easily.
That makes sense for high-profile people that are wanted. You think this is just abundant with any low-level, high-level people, that Russia is just super interested?
Yeah, exactly.
If the guy with a U.S. passport shows up and says the FBI is after him and he wants asylum in Russia, they will get him to him. That part to me makes sense.
For them to grant asylum to an American wanted by the United States, that's extremely rare.
The United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees collects data on Russian asylum seekers. Since the war in Ukraine, Russian acceptance of asylum of people of any nationality is nearly 100%.
But the charges are false. We know they're false. And I can never prove this, and I was like 90% there, but recently we've got some more documents, and it's clear now. The Americans are
that was her
to spy on the
recording
Russians
closet.
When I lived here in the early 2000s, because we had family connections who worked with military technology.
I have the documents that Chad claims prove this. They're emails that he just forgot about. One of them from his lawyer. Chad, I just had another conversation with the FBI agent in PA, and he's talking about coming after you under a specific federal statute if we do not work something out with Nancy. The statute includes retaining a child outside the country and interfering with visitation rights. The agent was quite
Maybe he's
polite
sad
and
they forgot about him.
But he says they'll have to do something soon if we don't reach a compromise.
Just look at the bias in there. They want me to work something out with her. They've already freaking July, if not June, of 2007.
To Chad, the FBI being involved as early as 2007 is proof. That's all he needs.
They were just waiting to come after me, and this is what I've always suspected.
There's another discovered email too. It's directly from the corrupt FBI agent. Chad, my name is Kirk Brace. I'm a special agent with the FBI in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm contacting you in regards to the custody situation with you and your son. I'm not here to act
the
as a
FBI
judge,
probably
but
just
merely
stopped
here to
giving a
enforce
shit.
the law. With
The
that
person
said,
who was
I
like
simply suggest
watching
you
it was
research
like,
the
I'm
law
going to
for
retire.
yourself. Specifically, United States Code Title 18, Section 1204. Please feel free to contact me at the FBI Erie office to discuss this.
Like,
further.
we're wasting
Chad, I'm
a lot of
father
money on
myself
this.
and
No
sincerely
reason.
hope that we can resolve this in a cooperative manner in the best interest of all parties. Thank you. Kirk Brace, FBI. To me, I read this as a second chance from the FBI, but to Chad.
All right. I have a ad coming on I can't avoid. I can't snooze them anymore.
Gun
Song?
smoke, even if we don't have the smoking gun itself. I mean, it's like
In the MF Doom one, just look up MF Homer.
The gun yet, but this is freaking huge.
Child custody and visitation matters are handled by local and state authorities.
I don't know what the name of that one was. Chrono Trigger, Snoop Dogg, I guess?
No, with the exception of international parental kidnapping. Straightoffjustice.gov. Buy the books. Buy the books.
Look at me. Can you even believe how crazy I look? Look at this. Look at this face. It's 3 days before this video goes live. I'm stopping the edit here because yesterday, Chad's attorney from Pennsylvania finally got back to us and I interviewed her. Have you seen anything to do with Chad in recent days? Have you been following along with his updates?
It's probably been 8 or 9 months since I've seen anything. I knew they were doing a big campaign about Eris and him being missing, quote unquote, etc.
Chad has transitioned from my son isn't actually missing to now spreading a narrative of what I would call very high level conspiracy theories against the US government.
Oh dear.
That the FBI and the CIA are trying to recruit him to be a spy. He
Oh,
isn't-
no, I had zero idea about any of that, and I can't see how that will help his case on any front from space, even. No. Wow.
Did anything during
She's,
the
like,
court case lead you
admonished.
to any sort of conclusion that would support his theories that he is wanted for another reason other than international parental kidnapping?
No.
Is that like a certainly no? Like some weird things happen?
Absolutely no. I didn't hear anything ever along
It's
that.
kind of funny.
Does that just
It's like
seem
talking to his mom or
That would
something, it
really
feels
be
like.
awesome. I mean, what I do now is I'm a novelist, and I would love to write that up.
Barbara, from my perspective, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that Chad also sees this as a story, and it's a story that
millions, hundreds of millions of people have bought into online.
Now, unfortunately, there are way too many people who will buy that. As far as I'm concerned, it seems very far-fetched.
I'm not trying to come for this guy, but it seems like what he's doing is somewhat dangerous.
I come at you with a true story, no tinfoil whatsoever, purely provable, and people are like, he's crazy.
Chad really wants press on
Isn't that like fucking
and
crazy?
Reporters have been interested,
News
but
network.
he says without fail, they all stop responding.
I'm quite sure it's the FBI.
Chad is convinced that that is proof that the FBI is intimidating journalists not to tell his story.
3 extraditions, can't get him on by the FBI, and yet nothing because the FBI keeps squishing the stories.
All I know is the FBI sure as hell hasn't come for me. So here's what we end on. I couldn't figure out where Chad's ex-wife is. From what I do know, it seems this situation has torn her life apart. She declared bankruptcy, her house foreclosed, she went off the grid. So for as much as I wanted to hear her side of the story, it seems that she wants privacy. And
Something other
Alex
fucked
is
up
now
shit,
27.
Obviously.
He still lives in St. Kitts, doesn't talk to press,
Sure,
but he also doesn't
did some
really talk
awful
to
thing
Chad.
to that
You
person.
mentioned contact with Alex is off limits.
He's not even talking to me much anymore because I pushed. There was a journalist. I pushed on that, and he's basically told me leave him alone.
The only real winner here is Chad. With Russian asylum, the chances of him going to an American prison are slim to none. And he's gained a remarkably large following online. Some of those followers joined Chad's Telegram group. There, they become one of his
Minion
minions
army.
and often dedicate countless hours of their life to Chad and his story.
Whenever like a new reporter like reached out to him for interest in the story, Chad would just have me, since I had this understanding
that
through
too.
interviewing him,
This kind of drama is all-consuming, and it probably ruins and poisons every aspect of your life.
Party as lending legitimacy. Chad knows that like it sounds crazy coming from him.
I'm curious how you feel about that. Being in that role, it seems like you didn't even really sign up for it.
Yeah, I would agree that I didn't really sign up for it.
I found some stuff that I'm just curious what your response is. So we found a computer store in St. Kitts. Seems to be yours.
Well, I ran it. It wasn't mine, but yeah.
Do you see
Yeah,
why
the
that's
FBI
a
is
little bit
fucked up
concerning?
too.
You've kind of been telling us repeatedly
More
that you
fucked
haven't
up.
worked a day since Bulgaria.
Well, I haven't been working on the software side.
Couldn't work.
No, I have not. Basically, since 2009 forward, I haven't been able to do crap.
To be clear,
It's also not
we've
one
been told by
guy.
you that you haven't worked a day in any capacity since Bulgaria. And from our perspective, we see this computer store and it's relatively concerning to us.
Yeah. No, then, yeah, I see where you're coming from there.
It plays into the health thing too a little bit, where you were saying you have been so sick that you weren't able to really leave your house during those years.
I got sick in 2011, 2012, and I was critically ill for over 10 years. I was unable to leave my house most of the time. I was in excruciating pain.
Ignored us. Patches, useless patches ignored.
I was basically slowly dying.
Have you ever played up your story?
It shows that
for the
one
purpose of,
clip a lot.
PR.
So, I mean, as far as have I hyped things? Yes. Have I lied? Have I faked? No. But TikTok, I have to do that. I have to get attention. That's the only way things work.
But he's got pen and paper. Oh my god, it must be fake.
I'm sorry if you felt I misled you on the work part. I don't have to make things up. But I understand why you asked me that question, because the things they have done to me are so absurd. But if you look at all the absurd things that I can prove that they did, once I found those July emails, that's good enough for me. The FBI does not get involved in a case like this in a matter of weeks. There's no way. The Department of State, Department of Justice. In fact, I've been doing a lot more research lately. Look at the Newburgh 4. Listen, I got all the dots here. Paint the picture.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
If media attention could help open up some doors to eventually save this man's life, why wouldn't I tell his story?
All right, Chad. I mean, that's all I've got.
I'm probably the most honest dude you're ever gonna find. I mean, I was like, you know, I've just honesty
Anyone who
is
says that,
just
though,
an
come on.
integral part of my core.
Though I've talked to attorneys about this case, I am no expert in the law. Destiny, the controversial and now banned Twitch streamer, hosted Chad and 3 attorneys on his stream. While playing Diablo 4, Chad's narrative got torn apart.
The law has you're the one trying to interrupt, right?
And Chad reacted as expected, with a TikTok playlist.
Flat out lied about several things in my case.
I'm sure you'll see Cheppel up there soon.
It's a shame because Destiny could be covering a true story.
So, in lieu of a happy ending, enjoy the comment section. And thanks for watching.
Try and shoot all the holes you can. I've had people try before.
Diablo 4 must be boring as fuck. Yeah, I think it is. Well, I thought that was really interesting. I like that guy's video channel. There's a link to it again